Well, Sarah, we met you on our Ultimate Brains episode of how to improve our mental health. So people are wanting to know, who is Sarah? Why have we brought you on to our Ultimate Brains, all about mental health? So enlighten us, Sarah.
Okay. So yeah, I've been on a bit of a journey, to say the least.
Yeah.
So it stems really to childhood.
Mm-hmm.
So very anxious as
Mm-hmm.
a child. Suffered with migraines and things like that. So yeah, it was very apparent when I look back now of the anxiety and you know how it was not only physical but it was emotional as well.
Yeah.
And from an early age, 14, I started drinking, smoking, thinking that would help my anxiety.
Which is a short fix.
Wow.
Not a long fix, is it?
No, and at the time, a lot of other people were doing that. You know,
Yes.
it was going down the playing field, having a drink, and it started off as a bit of fun.
Yes.
However, you know, it was absolutely destroying my mental health.
Yeah.
Although I thought I needed things like the alcohol, cigarettes, to help with confidence, it was actually stealing.
Taking it, yeah.
Absolutely. And in my early 20s, I noticed driving, I was having panic attacks. I was on the motorway, a journey. I used to live in York at the time, and I noticed I was having panic attacks.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything about it.
So when you say you were having panic attacks, how did that affect you?
So it was physical. So it would be sweating, you know, like your palms sweating.
Yeah.
Heart
So
racing,
this is
driving.
on the motorway.
Yeah. Honestly, didn't do anything about it.
I can't imagine the stressful situation
Awful.
if all of a sudden you can't get off, can you?
No.
So you're on the motorway, and then I presume your emotions just getting the better of you.
Yeah.
And like you say, you're getting sweaty palms. Your heart, I presume, is starting to race.
Yeah.
And how do I get out of this situation? What do you do?
Shaking, everything.
What do you do in that situation? What did you do?
Well, the next junction come off, and then I avoided. So I went into avoidance. So I used to come back from York the back way. Honestly, all them horrible windy roads and the back roads.
When really you're saying you avoided it, actually, a lot of the time we're better off facing them fears, aren't we?
Yeah.
Because they get bigger and bigger in our heads.
Yeah.
If actually back then, like you say, in your 20s, you'd have actually thought, I'm going to do something about this. Yes, I'm scared stiff, but if I can just keep pushing through it, you would have it wouldn't have gone on for so long.
Absolutely. And I just went on for so many years, I describe it as the fight or flight. So we go into a response, don't we? And the amount of times I've gone into flight mode, I've run away, not dealt with my problems, just get on with it, Sarah. Just deal with it, just get on with it. I've always worked, you know, and things like that. And so it was really hard. It got to 2015, so I'm now 45.
Yeah.
So at the age of 37, I would class that as when I had my breakdown, like rock bottom. And here I am now, talking from a good place. It's all good.
Absolutely.
But 2015 was really difficult, and that's when I ended up at the GP surgery, absolutely broken. And they wanted, you know, to put me on medication and things like that, and counselling.
Can you associate anything that made you get to that point, or is it just a rolling action that just gathered like a snowball, gathered and gathered?
Yeah, I think like if you even like that, the snowball or the rucksack, just got full and burst. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's only so much we can take.
Because if you're not doing I presume, if you're not doing anything about it, if you're not unloading that burden in some fashion, it's just going to get bigger and bigger, isn't it?
Yeah. So
this is a situation, not just your situation, is it? This is time and time again we meet people that this is happening to.
It's like burnout,
But from your story, it almost needed you to go down there to become the person you've become today.
Yeah.
So how did you manage to turn it around from being right there on the bottom, actually you can't see any way out, the burden is getting heavier and heavier. How did you turn your life around?
So I thought, I need to deal with this. I need to read. I need to accept.
Yeah.
what's anxiety? So I ordered a book off Amazon in 2015. Tell me more about anxiety. So
Is that what the book was called? Because that might help other people.
do you know what it was called? FCUK Anxiety.
Right, okay. It helped you, Sarah.
I related to it.
It helped you.
Yeah.
If it helps one more person, then I'm going to tell people about it.
I know. So I did that. I had I changed jobs, so I went into flight mode. And at the end of the day, I was still not really fully accepting in 2015. So when the doctor prescribed medication, I didn't go pick the medication up. So when she phoned me 10 days later, how are you getting on with that medication? No. And unfortunately, the path continued of the alcohol for a bit longer, until I'm totally alcohol free now, nearly 1,000 days.
Absolutely. Hats off to you, Sarah. That is blooming amazing, girl. Absolutely amazing. She can do it. You can do it.
Absolutely. But yeah, I'd say messing about really. From 2015 to 2021, I was trying to moderate with alcohol. I thought I couldn't live without alcohol.
Well, actually, I've known you for a long time, haven't I, Sarah?
Yeah.
And we used to have chats. We used to have get-togethers, and you always managed somehow to bring alcohol into the subject.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get home and have a bottle tonight.
Yeah.
And it's little signs like that actually, if you see your friends are doing that, then maybe talk to them. Maybe there's a different path they can take. Yeah. People do enjoy a drink, and we're not going to take it away from people. Have a drink. But if you become independent, maybe it's time to talk.
Yeah, honestly, completely, because, it wasn't just a couple of glasses of wine for me. It was 2 bottles.
Yes.
That's the difference. Isn't
Quite
it?
excessive, isn't it?
And it changed everything about me. It changed my mood.
At that time, did you think this is excessive, or did you think, wow, I can drink 2 bottles of wine? How do you think your head interpreted that at that time?
Probably a bit of both. However, I'd wake up and I'd have that remorseful feeling.
Yeah.
I didn't like that feeling.
No.
But I didn't know how to get out of that feeling.
So you get the high. I've never been a big drinker myself, so I don't think I quite get a lot of it. But I presume you get that high, don't you? You get that happy place. It's almost like the drink enables you to put that mask on and get to that happier place. But then, like you say, that's good. But the next day you almost feel worse for it, don't you?
You're sort of chasing that first feeling where you get that moment, 20 minutes, and then you're still chasing that first glass of wine feeling, and you never get that. It just turns into chaos, like it did for me in my situation.
So what was your next step? When you realised that, actually, I can't keep doing this, how did you sling the ladder up and climb out?
Yeah, so 2020, February, I joined 1 Year No Beer. So
how did you find them?
It came from my Facebook feed.
Right.
So and I paid a subscription.
Yes.
And I won't be where I am today without 1 Year No Beer. So I surrounded myself with an online community, people who understood.
Yeah. I
actually was surrounding myself with people who had similar drinking habits. So I connected with them.
I can only presume as well that if you're meeting up or communicating with people on that journey, there'll be people on that journey that are a year ahead of you.
Yes.
So they're going to encourage you to keep going, aren't
Absolutely,
they? And I think that's a massive thing of it. And also, you helping them people that are further down the ladder as well is making you feel better. And it's a win-win situation, isn't it?
Yeah, honestly, absolutely amazing. And the thing is, connection is the opposite of addiction.
Yes.
So, when addiction takes you in that dark place, it's like backs you into a corner, and that's where it likes you.
Yes.
However, connecting yourself with like-minded people who get it, who understand, find your tribe. It might sound a bit cliche, but absolutely, find your tribe.
Yeah, absolutely. So how did you transition from being in this community to thinking, actually, I'm in this community, I want my own community, because that's now what you're doing, isn't it? Tell us about Sarah. Tell us about what is Sarah now. Tell them, be proud about what you've achieved.
No, thank you. So a year alcohol free, I was still suffering with anxiety, overwhelm. So, but it was a different story. I went back to the GP, head held high, because I'm now a year alcohol free. I don't have to lie anymore.
Absolutely.
To the doctor, and I've still got anxiety. I exercise every day. Anyway, I'm on medication now, and everything is under control.
But I do believe, and forgive me, someone will slate me from some corner, but everybody has anxiety in some form. It might be a little bit, it might be excessively, but everybody does suffer with anxiety, don't they? And I think accepting that we do is a lot of tackling it.
Yeah, completely. And if the anxiety is taking over your life, though, you know, where you're not going out anymore, you know, I think if you can get a pattern of good days, bad days, you know, and if the bad days are outweighing the good, then I think it is definitely time to address it. And like you say, it's good to have anxiety as well, because certain times we do need anxiety to run away from danger. So
Absolutely. If there's a herd of bulls behind me, I'm going to be anxious and I'm going to be running.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good way of seeing it. I never thought about actually, in some cases, we need a little, don't we, to get that adrenaline going.
Yeah, we do, for sure. And then I saw Andy Ramage, who has been absolutely amazing, and I did my life coaching with Aratai Way. And again, I started that as a bit of a hobby, self-development, and you know what, I've turned it into a business, and now I'm, you know, giving back. A year alcohol-free, I went public on my Facebook page. I thought, if I can just help one person.
And I've got to say, when you're reading somebody opening the heart up to you, and it's quite emotional, isn't it? But when you're reading somebody opening the heart up to you, it gets you. And it can't possibly not get you. Somebody's saying, warts and all, this is who I am, this is a problem I've had, but actually, this is what I'm going to do about it. And that's pretty much what you've done. And I think respect where respect's due, that's developed into talk, hasn't it? Because you have been very open about it. And because of that, people can come to you for life coaching because they know you've been on a similar journey. So for anybody that wants to find you, tell them your site and where they can find you.
So talk.co.uk.
So that's talking and walking. That's what you're all about, isn't it? Primarily.
Yeah, AA for anxiety and addiction. I'm now doing yoga retreats. I do wellbeing masterclasses. But the biggest thing of all, and it'll always be the foundations, is the talking and walking. So I'm doing it in the community 3 times a week. And then once a month we go further afield, and it's, you know, more of a challenge.
Oh, it is. I can tell from experience. It was fabulous, but my goodness, we walked our legs off.
Well, it's Helvellyn end of April, and that is, I need mindfulness to just
brilliant
deal with that.
So anybody that thinks, actually, I need to do something about this, what is this talk? Go onto the website, which is
www.talk.co.uk,
and meet up with Sarah. Go on one of these walks. They're amazing. They do a little raffle. Your mum does home cooked food, doesn't she? But there is such a combination of people and personalities that you cannot come back from. I challenge anybody to come back off one of them walks that doesn't feel better about themselves. So we'll wrap it up for there today, Sarah. Till next time, thank you from me, Sarah and Brain.
Thank you very much.